think that it is very natural because if we look the Arab nation as a whole, one of the biggest contributors to the world culture, and thanks to which we have our European antique heritage, so Arabs preserved it. And we look at the situation of the Arab nation now, we will see the terrible consequences. Of course, there was a period of several centuries of the Ottoman rule over the whole Arab world, but we know as well that for several centuries, Ottoman Empire was a geopolitical ally of the British Empire. So Brits practically took the whole territory after Ottoman Empire collapsed and cut it into pieces. So Arab nation is now a conglomerate of countless states and nations with absolutely impossible perspective of reunification. Then what we know today as so-called Islamic fundamentalism, extremism and terrorism and so on, it was actually invented and raised in Britain when approximately in the period when it formally ceased or stopped to be empire. So the biggest first move in that direction was creation of Pakistani nation on the basis of religion. So the cut of India, the biggest British colony, into two big confronted pieces, that's their result. And since that time, all other sponsors of this extremism and terrorism are coming from the same school. The Saudi Arabia as a country, the most probably undemocratic regime in the contemporary world, is since the beginning until nowadays supported by Anglo-Americans, and it also supports all these financially other extremist groups that have to be used as weapons by the empire. And during the whole recent history after the Second World War, you will see the pattern that the Arab countries, or Islamic countries, which are becoming targets of the West, are never the most extremist and most undemocratic regimes, but on the contrary, the most progressive regimes, like Iraq, Syria, Libya, and so on. Nobody is putting pressure on Saudi Arabia, and the latest example is Bahrain. Troubles in Bahrain started almost simultaneously, like in Tunisia and Libya, and they are still lasting, but with the opposite development. Nobody cares about majority of the people protesting against the regime which is connected with the US military base and which is producing much more violence against the protesters than Libyan regime ever did. Okay, the next point in this first point, maybe it will be the longest, would be the question, why Libya and why now? It's apparent to everyone that Libya has oil, 10th reserves of oil in the world. So let's take Libyan oil. Second thing is that Western countries, so Western companies were using Libyan oil under certain contracts and under certain conditions, but they had a debt towards the Libyan state of about $200 billion. So we will never pay them our debt, which is very nice, especially now when we are in lack of money. After Libyan revolution in '69, when the new regime reached a certain level of the organization of the state and the society, they signed the most important contracts with the Western oil companies in 1971. And these contracts were lasting 40 years, meaning that exactly now they were about either to be prolonged or changed or cut, and this this nasty Gaddafi was threatening that they will deprive some Western companies of prolonging arrangements, and that he would instead sell these rights to Russians or Chinese and so on. The next reason is that Libya was a socialist country. Okay, there is a little specific ideology that Gaddafi proclaims, but if you look into essence of it, and it was not hidden, the official name of the country was Great Socialist Libyan Arab Jamahiriya, which practically already the name of the country has two main pillars of this ideology. One is socialism, and another is the type of, like we call our countries, democracies. He invented this notion Jamahiriya, which would mean the state of people's masses, emphasizing that this is a system of direct democracy. There was no political parties, no Western sense elections, but every citizen was through system of people's committees being involved into the system of direct democracy. Libya is by territory 5 times bigger than Germany, and it has only 6.5 million population, and plus that population was doubled in last 30 years approximately, with one of the highest birth rate in the world. Already in 80s, Libya by GDP per capita overcame countries like Italy, Spain, or South Korea. And when we speak about social achievement there, it would look like a fairy tale. So every person was free to work or not to work. Anyhow, he will be secured by the state, and every student can select any university in the world, and the state will pay his fee at that university and provide him with enough money, like average salary, I would say, in that country where he studies.